but it also, and I don't know whether the person asking comes from a very large industry or a very small industry, and this particular slide that we are showing on the screen right now pertains to another ISBM member, another wonderful example of a company that is blogging and blogging extensively, and they are using blogs to drive a fair amount of traffic to their website. And before I talk about that, take the time to scan through the blog of Restec, because you will find a totally different approach to blogging. They incorporate a lot more humor, and humor, by the way, is a-okay. Humor is actually wonderful at times, and their approach is somewhat different. But I would also say there are a lot of lessons, wonderful lessons, to be learned from the way Restec approaches communicating with their constituency through blogs. But Restec is also a company that operates in a much smaller market niche, and that addresses the issue of what is your expectation. In their case, they are averaging between 2,000 to 10,000 unique visits per month. And in a small niche industry, that is an exceptionally high number. So if you are controlling the pond that you are in, much, much better than being a tiny little fish in the ocean. Again, we come back to, on some level, to the issue that the last question was on, and that is tracking and measuring. Tracking and measuring and getting a sense, are you successful? What's working for you? What's not working for you? Sometimes you don't have a clear answer, but you have speculation, and you can, along the way, assess the answer over time if you have enough data points. It also helps you set relevant goals. A relevant goal for a Restec is to be dominant within their market reach, market niche, sorry. And how do you go about tracking and measuring? And this is a very important issue there. It's applicable to those of you just starting. It's applicable to those of you who are along the way. And it's applicable for those of you with a very sophisticated social media strategy. And I'd like to ask Hanan to take over the conversation at this point and share with people some of the free tools that are available to everybody, as well as give people an opportunity to see some of the enterprise-level tools that people like us use and what they can show in terms of insights and information. Okay?
Okay, yeah. But before that, Mary, do you have any other questions at this point?
No, I think we're good for now.
Okay. So, yeah, thanks, Ron, for keeping us all awake until now, until this point. I'll try to follow your footsteps. So basically, when we're looking on developing a strategy where we're proactive, we're pushing content, we're trying to spread the word, we're trying to create a community and create a discussion, we need to be very careful and be able to monitor what is said and what is done in our space. And about us, we need to always know what's going on and what is said about our brand and about our actions, but double the caution when we are in a proactive mode. There are over 500 tools right now in the market, from free, totally free, through all the way to thousands of dollars per month for different levels of listening and monitoring chatter over social media, networks, searches of content within broadcasted TV and radio, and so on. We'll show you two ends in the next few minutes. One, how to set up a free and simple listening center where you can monitor your brand and make sure that you measure some of the activity, or at least figure out the value of the activity that you're generating. And the other is a glimpse into the sophisticated tools that we have and that we're using in the engagements that we run with our customers.
Can I interject for that?
Yeah, sure.
I think an important point is not only to measure your brand, to measure your company or track your company, but also track your competition. We are actually learning that there are great lessons to be learned from what competitors are doing, some of the things you can adapt, and some of the things you can counteract. But don't forget your competition.
Yep, and thanks for that. And then, so when we're setting up a listening center, one of the three things that we look at that would make it a successful tool would be that it will enable us to monitor our brand or product. If someone is talking about us, about our product, about anything that's relevant to us and important to us, we need to be able to know about it.
And that includes the legislative and regulatory world too.
Absolutely. In some level, it's a protective layer that allows you to go back to the legal department and show them that what's the impact of your strategy and what's the impact of your activity. The other thing is to be able to generate some intelligence out of it, meaning that you know who's doing the talking, where they're talking. Is it your competitors? Is it your partners, customers? Where they are talking? What's the best channel for you to be listening to and to be active in when they are doing the talking, and to be able to generate some insight out of it, out of this knowledge. And the third and probably most important part of it is to be able to allow you to easily take action, meaning that if you find something that's relevant for you, to be able to jump in and participate or interact or forward it to the relevant party, such as a sales representative in case of a hot lead, or a customer support representative in case of a crisis that can be mitigated before it or an issue that can be mitigated before it becomes a crisis. And so on, maybe even deliver a lead to a reseller, which is in some cases a great tool. So those are the three things that we're looking at when we set up what we call a listening center. And that could be done very easily and simply by just using Google. If you noticed in Google searches, when you get the search result page, Google kept evolving over time, and it now allows you to perform searches within blogs, meaning that all the results that you get come from blogs, one of the biggest social media venues out there, or real-time, which includes Twitter and other platforms of real-time. But the beauty about the way Google does that in real-time, it shows you things that appeared, or posts that appeared in those type of networks, not just in the past few minutes, but also all the way back. So in industries where you don't have a huge conversation, you'll be able to find posts from 3, 4, 5 months ago, and to actually see some kind of visualizations of the graphics. Other venues such as videos from YouTube and other platforms, and images and so on, discussion boards. So that's a great way to filter results, and it also allows you to set up a timeline. Do you want to know what went on in the past day, 24 hours, a week, month, year, or even a custom range? So that allows you to filter out or to build a search results page that's relevant to you. You put together a query with the certain keywords that you're looking for, and you can take an RSS feed from that page and use it in the next tool that I'll show you. But Ron wants to say something from it.
You know, it's an interesting case in point is a project we presented to one of our clients about 4 weeks ago, in which, doing exactly what Hanan said, we were able to ascertain that our customer's major competitor is conducting a major campaign on Twitter, trying to, and successfully doing so, driving traffic to a number of YouTube videos. And that was a major revelation to our customer. I think in the next couple of weeks we are going to try and sit with that customer and see how they can react and counteract.
Yep. Now, when you take that RSS code for RSS feed for the query that you just performed, you can dump it into another great Google tool, which is the Google Reader. It's the tool that we use for many use for reading their news or the sports results. Could be used to become your hub, your media center for all the relevant topics that aggregates all the relevant topics to you, to your company, to your brand, whatever you're looking for. The Reader allows you to aggregate almost infinite number of feeds, meaning that you can have different results from different queries that you're running. It shows you some kind of some high-level statistics about how it's used, how much of it did you read, how much appears on different topics, and it also allows you to share it with all those parties that might need to take action, and you can actually follow up if they did take action or not. So these two tools together create a pretty strong hub. Now, once you set this up, you'll find that you get a lot of results, and we'll touch that point in a second. But before then, I wanted to share with you that from the platform we're using, we can get a view of the data is visualized in different ways. So the same things that you did with these in those free tools of aggregating the news, we can get in one view that we're using for planning. In this example, you see this like histogram graph in the middle of the screen, which shows us the past 3 months for one of the activities or campaigns that we're running. And a nice insight here is that if we would have sliced the data for 1 month, we would have seen some activity with some spikes, but it's in general kind of pretty much as a flat line. But when you look at it as a 3 months view, you see that actually this is a fairly new campaign. 3 months ago, nothing happened there. So it's the beauty about data and the beauty about the tools that allow you to look at the data is that it reveals stories and provides you with opportunities to generate insight that would be useful for your activity.